Alright, so you were asking how I got this from the pictures that you sent. So for the flash layer, I could reset this, I guess. I'll reset it. So I dropped highlights all the way down, I brought the shadows all the way up, whites up here, and I want to say that I brought the exposure up probably to in there, give or take. Blacks down here, do these, and we'll do some noise reduction just cause now, and I feel like that's all I did for that one. And then I think I used this one. Must have used this one. So I used this one to just kind of mask in some of the natural lighting, and then to get rid of all of the shadows caused by all these lights. So we want to mask in, like you're trying to do a window pull, but you've created shadows on the windows from the flashes. So if you had went and stood like right here where the mouse is, just on the other side of this table, and even done one picture for each set of windows, you could have, stood here, boom, did this left window, moved over, boom, did the middle one, moved back to the center, boom, took this one. Then you don't have the shadows caused from doing it all the way back here. I mean, it's lit really well, I mean, if you think about it, but it just, for the window pull purposes, could have been better. So in this one, I dropped the highlights all the way down, just some minor adjustments here. I don't do any verticals now, I do that at the end. I did quite a bit of dehazing, and you can see right here, I didn't fix this in later. I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can't see it on the flash layer, that's why. So this is your lens is dirty or your sensor is dirty, one or the other, and then you can see another spot right here. So make sure your lens is a little cleaner. It just makes later easier. So then we just bring them both into Photoshop. Then we wait patiently. Alright. I have a lot open right now, so I'll be just a second. Full screen. So for this, I saw it somewhere, and I'll have to go find the video if you want. It was just, they called it like quick Flambient or something to that effect. They were just using a mask using the channels layer. So with the ambient layer selected, I control click on the RGB channel, alt click on the mask, and that got me started. Like, we're nowhere near finished, but it does the bulk of it, and you can see it's masked out all the windows for me, so that's a huge start. So then we shall begin. Just masking in. So I have opacity set on 100, flow is set on 4. I usually do somewhere between 3 and 6, just wherever the slider ends. It's kind of user preference. So for this, actually go back to the layer, and then I went down to luminosity, and for this photo it just worked. It just made more sense to use just the luminosity mask. And then paint in your ceiling from the ambient photo. Paint in, paint in, paint in, paint in. I'm actually going to up this just a little bit, just because I'm probably not going to be as precise as I would be if I was delivering this myself, but this will give you the general idea of what I did. And I wasn't too concerned about being exact here, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. That's actually a little too much, so we'll bring that back down. You want it to be even, but masked out, right? Like, it's weird. And so then down here, I masked back in a lot of the flash layer because that looked better. As far as color goes, there was no overflow from the windows or anything like that in the flash layer. And then over here, had to mask in to get rid of all the shadows, the ambient layer, and I'm not sure if these just aren't lined up perfectly or if that's just weird, like ghosting almost from the light from the windows. I'm not sure what's going on over here. And masking, I liked this a little better. Kind of weird shadows going on there, but I don't know. It's user preference. And one thing I didn't do in the other one was mask in a lot of the color back in the wood floors. I noticed when I got done, they looked kind of eh. So I kind of like went all flash layer here to give it the right color, and then I just a couple sweeps on the floor to bring back the natural light that you would expect from the windows. Over here, this was all flash layer. Oops. Masked in some of the. I gotta quit being so greedy, trying to use such a big brush. And I'm not sure what this is. Like I don't know if that's from your flash on the TV. I don't know what that is. I would probably do a gradient here. Or just something super easy. Quick fix. Gradients work, but this works as well. Brush. My mind just totally went blank as to what I was doing. Yeah. Nope. Not sure why that's all blue. Maybe it's on this layer. Yeah. And even that, there's still, it's kind of from the ambient layer, so there's still some, we can actually even change that even more here in a second. But that looks way better anyways. So now we're going to go back. Don't forget to go back to your mask. Excuse me. So, nope, that's the flash layer. So I like the ambient layer. I like the flash layer better here. I wish there wasn't so many shadows from the flash layer. Like you can see there's a pretty, I actually just pointed at the screen with my finger. That's kind of funny. Right here, there's a pretty sharp shadow from the flash as well as here. Nope, don't like that. I like this one better, I think. Yeah, I like this better. Flash layer, flash layer, flash layer. Because there's super sharp shadow here. But it's like that give or take. Like you either get this weird whiteout look or you get super harsh shadows. Like I was saying, if you had stood right here and shot a shot straight up, and just sole purpose is to light this area, I think it would have come out a little better. It's not bad by all means. It's a huge room, so I think you did well in the end. More light on from the TV. So zoom back out. So still got some shadows here on the windows, but so let's see. Go back to your brush. Nope, wrong one. And then so I actually just masked in a little brighter versions of the windows, just to kind of hide. Like you can still see outside, but it's just gonna kind of hide. Oops. Yeah, see, I screwed that up. And there's actually some shadow right there from this awesome light fixture. I kind of want one. So I think that is where I left off. I don't like that. On the other one, like lots of weird cross shadows from the flashes down here. And this is just user preference. I like a little bit of shine on the wood. I mean, that is what you would expect to see. I actually went as far as to do some adjustments. And so clicking this button clips it to the layer that's directly below it. I messed with some, I remember I messed with some of these just to kind of get a little, the more look that I was going for. Try and get rid of some of the weird shadows that's going on up there. And then I did the same thing for the other layer. Actually, I don't remember all the adjustments that I did right at this very moment. But I was trying to get it as close as what I would want it to be done. See, I messed in too much of that. I'm going to go back and fix that. That's going to make me nuts. I think it just looks better with the shadow. It just is what it is. It just looks cleaner, I think. It just is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I can't tell which one. There's a ton of shadows going on in this back here. So I think that's pretty close to where I had left off previously. And then, yeah, well, yeah, let's go do one more thing. So we're actually going to invert this. Nope, we're not going to invert that yet. Just kidding. So we're going to boost the shadows some. Now we're just so I can see what it's going to do, and then switch that. And then we can paint in where we wanted the shadows boosted. A little bit up here on these beams. They were a little dark. This is actually more than I did on the last one. I didn't even do this on the last one. Oops. And it's just a little trick, that way you can mask in where you want it to be just a touch brighter. And then vice versa, you could do it to darken specific areas. This, I wish there was something more to do with this but I couldn't come up with anything right off the bat. But as far as a finished picture goes, I think this looks pretty good. We'll just, whoops, shoot. Just kidding. And now I'm doing an entirely too much stuff on this computer right at this moment. And it is struggling a touch. Alright. Oh, it is saving. Perfect. And it has saved. We go back over here. This is the one that I just did. So now we go up here, bring the highlights back down. So bringing the highlights back down, it actually brought back some of the outside, even though it's still kind of not like a perfect window pull, but it's just, I mean, it's not like an awe-inspiring view either, in my opinion. Then do some more final touches. I did some more noise reduction just so it looks a little cleaner. There's some noise on the back of this chair and this one. And then we do verticals. I didn't do that last time. Well, that was pretty good. Didn't even hardly move. Let's see. And then I did. So if you hold Shift, it lets you make single increment adjustments versus like a minimum of 5, I think is what it says. Clarity up a little bit. I think I boosted the contrast a touch on the last one, but I like it. That's what I would be done. And now I'm going to send this to you because I can. And that is all.